Hello and welcome to episode number 3 of Supercalifragilistic. My name is Christian Rauchenwald and you probably know me from the last episodes. If you listen to them, if not, I encourage you to go back and enjoy it from the beginning so you have the full picture. In this video slash podcast, depending on if you're watching it or listening to it, I'm documenting my journey on like building $1 million company from scratch with zero outside funding. So it may be interesting for a few of you to get inspiration, learn from the mistakes I make, because I'm not only gonna share the positive stuff but also the setbacks. And yeah, so in the last two episodes, we talked about why I'm doing this, what led to this, and also about what kind of mindset I have and why I cannot understand a lot of people. Why they're not doing more because they simply could, because I'm not different from most people. The only difference is like it says here, yeah. Thomas Edison, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. So the only difference is I just keep trying. And with that, I have my successes on the way, but I also have my losses on the way, because trying also means sometimes taking some risk. And most people just never take risk. So what I realized yesterday and today, I think 2 days ago and yesterday we were working on setting up Facebook advertising to promote the One Funnel Away challenge. It's a challenge I'm currently doing myself. I'm already past week number 3, so there's still 2 weeks to go. And it really was mind-blowing so far. This week was a little bit slower because it focused more on storytelling. So not on the first weeks were on that you obviously need to believe in yourself, because if you don't believe you can do it, you will always fail. And I don't know, Henry Ford I think said it. No matter if you say you can do it or you can't, you'll always be right. Yeah, it's when you tell yourself, okay, it's impossible for me to run a marathon, you will never be able to do it. But if you tell yourself, okay, I can do it, it's just I need some practice. I'm sorry, mute. So if you tell yourself, or if you believe that you can do it, maybe you're not in the condition to do it right now, but then you will look for ways to accomplish it. So you will in the end be able to do it. Maybe not in a week, maybe not in a month, maybe not even in a year, but if you believe in yourself and you do what's necessary to get there, you will be able to do it. It's with a lot of things. Even more extreme examples, where people say it's impossible, that won't work, it cannot be. When the first steam engines for trains were invented, doctors said the human body was not made to travel more than 20 kilometers per hour and stuff like that. Yeah. Now we have cars that drive more than 300 kilometers per hour, and not talking about planes that fly around 800 to 1,000 kilometers per hour and even more. Yeah. And there are other examples, for example in the US there was for a long time nobody ever ran a mile in under 4 minutes. It was people said it's impossible till somebody did it. I don't remember the name of the guy, but he did it. So, and suddenly after that other people started to believe as well, if he did it, I can as well. And then I don't know, 2 months later the next guy ran it under two minutes. Yeah, under 4 minutes. Yeah. So it's just because people tell you something is impossible, it just means for them it seems impossible. But I learned over the years there's actually not many things that are impossible. Yeah, there was a time where people thought it's impossible that you could fly to the moon or something. Thanks to Elon Musk and other visionaries, we are only now a couple months, maybe a couple of years away from vacations in space. Yeah, it will be very expensive. Not a lot of people will be able to afford it, but it was deemed impossible. I don't know if you, whatever, maybe 100 years ago would have talked to people and told them there will be a way that I'm sitting here and I'm just talking into some strange thing, and then suddenly all over the world people will be able to watch it. You probably would have also been locked up for being insane, and that's not possible. But there's no such thing as impossible. The only limit we have is in our minds. And there's I was wondering today, because so we had, I wouldn't say setback, we just didn't hit the results that we were hoping for. I'm not saying expected, but hoping for, with our advertising. So we started some Facebook ads and worked on some Google ads, and then the Facebook ads didn't work as expected, which is okay. So we figured we're gonna switch to Google ads and just ignoring the picture aspect that Facebook ads bring with it, but just like pick some related search terms, and then just test like which headlines and which description work, because if they work on Google, chances are then if we use the same like text and find a matching image, that the same ads will work on Facebook. And then we created a bunch of ads, and I misclicked and closed the window so it wasn't saved, and then the mood was already like and then we created only 3 more, and they got disapproved because whatever, like the how to say, like the titles were like a 30-day course to learn how to make more money, and apparently more money is something that Google's algorithm matches to get rich quick schemes or whatever. But it was like slightly demotivating, and now like well, how do I deal with it? Like it's basically, it requires some training and some like conditioning yourself, I would say. But for me, that's like, I wouldn't then say, oh, that doesn't work and blah, blah, blah. I simply realize I don't know how to do it yet. So, and then I think about possible solutions, and I come to the conclusion, okay, like for everything else, I can Google how to do whatever, Google advertising, how to do Facebook advertising, how to create stunning ads or reactive ads where people click on. And if Google doesn't help, I can look on YouTube and watch tutorials about it. And if that doesn't help, I can look for Facebook groups or online communities with people who are focusing on AdWords. That's the Google advertising thing. Or I can look for Facebook groups and stuff that focus on Facebook advertising, and then I can ask my questions there, and maybe somebody is willing to help me. Or I can look for a freelancer who does this for a living, so his like biggest skill is doing that, and then I can simply hope that I find someone who is willing to do that for me for an acceptable price that still leaves me some profit if people then buy or sign up or whatever. Yeah. So the point is, there's no such thing as impossible or anything like that. It just is like, it may need a different approach, and the easiest way to get a different approach is like to not focus on the problem, but focus on the solution. So to not like, oh my god, this ad doesn't work. Yeah, well, this ad doesn't work, so which ad will work? Yeah, what can I write? What can I say? How can I phrase it differently? Which synonyms could I use that Google doesn't like disqualify? And then later today, like, because it was both for me and my fiance, it was for both of us, like kind of like a blow. For me a little bit less, because I've been an entrepreneur like all of my life, so I'm like used to that up and down. Yeah. For her it was a little bit more, and then we talked about it, and yeah, like we didn't fully get to a conclusion on that, but and then I had my personal workout with Abdul, and it hit me. It's basically the same, you know, like I really realized no matter what you want to do, no matter like I don't know what you want to achieve. Yeah, like if you want to achieve personal growth, if you want to build a business, if you want to get better at something, it always involves some kind of pain. Yeah. Basically we mostly learn, in my opinion, like from our mistakes. Yeah, it may be minor mistakes, but we learn kind of through pain. Like if we think about physical exercise, if I would do like, I don't know, 5 sit-ups per day, my muscles would not be like, how to say, like feel it, yeah, that much. So my body would have no incentive. There would be no signal to my body, oh, we need more muscles. Yeah. So he will not build it. There will also be no incentive to, oh, we need to burn, or we need energy, we need to burn fat or whatever. Yeah. So nothing's gonna change, and then I can be like, oh, I did whatever, like 5 sit-ups. It's like 500. I did over 1,500 sit-ups alone last year, but I'm still getting fat. Yeah. And so with exercise, like you do the exercise till you feel the muscle. It doesn't have probably. I'm not a personal trainer, so like don't quote me on that stuff. Yeah. But it's just like how I try to explain that or make you relate to it, so it's easier for everyone to understand. So you repeat the exercise till you feel your muscle. It may be hurting a little or something, and the point where you start to feel it, that it really is like, it gets like slightly painful to do it, you don't stop, you keep going, you push yourself to do a couple more, like, so your body like as far as I understand it, yeah, your body then realizes, okay, like especially if you like consistency every couple days you do that, your body realizes, okay, that muscle region is used frequently and it's like it doesn't have the capacity to fulfill the required amount of physical exercise. So the people inside the body who are responsible for that will then like, I don't know, like hire new muscles, yeah, like let's put it like that. And if you keep pushing and pushing and pushing, it will grow, yeah. And if you then like don't eat more than you burn, like in forms of calories, for example, then hopefully the fat will disappear and you will end up with a six pack or whatever you want. But the same is with like mental growth, like because whenever like somebody's happy, I don't need to cheer them up, yeah. So if we take that sentence and go back to the physical exercises, it's like if I would be in the shape to do 100 sit-ups and then my personal trainer says let's do 50, it's like it's easy for me. It's not at the moment, but probably 50 would be easy now. We're not counting, we're using timers, but anyway, so it would be easy and there would be like no growth from there because it's like no problem at all. And the same is like when you're happy and motivated, nobody needs to come and cheer you up because there's no point. You're already on track. It's already like going. But obviously when you're unhappy and demotivated, it's like really you already feel bad and then somebody comes and kicks your ass and tells you like, okay, yeah, you know, like you from just sitting there and looking like, I don't know, like somebody died just at the moment, it's not gonna get better. Like what's bothering you? Ask yourself, why is that bothering you? Ask yourself, why is that bothering you, until you have no more answers, so you actually found the root of what's bothering you. And then ask yourself like, is it reasonable? Like, do I actually have a reason, or is it just some feeling? So is there like a fact, something that you not can grasp, but something that's like not just your emotion that's causing it? And B, are there possible solutions for that cause? Yeah, like with Facebook advertisings, it may be, yeah, there are possible solutions, as I told before, like YouTube videos, tutorials, this, that, blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, like then you should be able to like, well, maybe you don't feel better at the moment, but your body or your brain will learn in that case to not just accept negative feelings, but to instantly think about, are they reasonable, what can I do? And suddenly you will not focus on the problem anymore, you will focus on the solution, and you will not feel bad that often, yeah. But of course, while you're feeling that emotion, it's like hard for you to like, oh, now I need to be reasonable, and it's the same kind of pain when somebody then pushes you and forces you like, okay, now take a pen, take a piece of paper and start writing it out. It's uncomfortable, but that's where growth comes from. That's where well, like really growth comes from. In companies or even in your job or something, if you have a bunch of tasks and it's always the same and you're like, it's easy for you to do them, there is no need for you to grow. There is no need to learn something new, to improve your time management, to, I don't know, like try to figure out how to skip some meetings that are unnecessary or stuff like that. But when things are not the way they should be, or they usually are, like when things are, you get twice the work you usually get, then you may be angry, upset, annoyed, whatever. Yeah, you will have some kind of negative emotion about it. I have yet to see somebody who's like, yeah, I get twice the amount of work for the same amount of money. Yeah. But that's the time where if you then push yourself, you're forced to grow. You either you complain about it constantly, or you try to focus on a solution. Okay, how can I deal? How can I get this or this big amount of work done as well? And you're forced to look for improvements, for where you can grow. Yeah, and if you run a company, it's the same. If like sales just go up like this, it's like there's no need to like grow. Yeah, I mean, you may need to grow your warehouse and productions and shipping area, but you don't need to improve anything because it's running. So like, and that's in my opinion a mistake a lot of companies make, is things are going well and they just assume it will always be like this. So instead of like thinking about like what could they do to make sure it continues like that, or to use the profit to build like a plan B or improve stuff, so like it even is more profit right now, but if it's not as good as now, or so like if business goes down, then your profit margin is higher because you used the profit from here and invested it in, like, I don't know, optimizing processes or whatever, or improving the cost of production, or I don't know, I really don't know. But so like in the good times nobody does it, and then and there would also be like they wouldn't see the benefit. Most like businessmen wouldn't see the benefit, because if they don't invest it and they don't try to grow, um, they would have more money in their personal pocket at the moment. But if they are going to grow, if they're like, okay, we're going to invest in this and we're going to build that, like the real big companies do it, like Amazon, Google, and so on, who are constantly, of course, they make a shitload of money, but they only do that because they kept growing, they kept diversifying. And I'm sure each of those companies, from Apple, we know it, also had bad years where they were close to bankruptcy. And it was because, in that case, because they lost that visionary who was willing to take some risk and was focused on growth. And suddenly the company was almost bankrupt, so they had to get him back, and now it's the most valuable company on the planet. And so like there, it's also in the painful times, you learn to grow. But for a company, it's obviously different, because they may not have the room to grow anymore because they run out of money. Yeah, simple as that, and have to declare bankruptcy. So that's really something today I realized it a little bit more. Yeah, that like in order to grow, there needs to be some kind of pain or discomfort. So that's why there's also the saying, you need to leave your comfort zone. And then the main way to success is basically, for people it seems like it's impossible for them to have success, but it means like sacrifices, which means like you prioritize. You really need to want to be successful. Therefore, when you have the choice doing something that gets you ahead, or maybe watching an hour Netflix, it's going to be an easy decision for you to sacrifice Netflix in order to do something for your business or for your personal success. Like, yeah, there needs to be consistency. If I only work out once a year and I can do 2,000 sit-ups that day, probably it would almost kill me. Like the pain would almost kill me. But my body will not like react to it. I will suffer a couple of days of very, very aching muscles, yeah, and probably not be able to move or stand up or anything, yeah. But it will not have the urge to like, okay, we probably should grow, because it will just see, well, it's a one-time event, it's not going to happen again. So I need to work out regularly, 3 times per week at the moment, yeah, which probably going to stay like this, simply to remind my muscles every time, okay, you need to grow further, till actually I'm at the point where I'm like happy with the amount of muscles I have, and then we reach a point where I still need to work out to simply maintain the weight, like to not gain weight and not lose weight, and to also maintain the muscle mass. Because if I stop working out, my body will notice like, okay, there's all this muscle, but we don't need it, so like let's just burn it instead of burning the fat, because it's like easier to burn, yeah. And then I would lose the muscles, and it would have to start again. And yeah, so like we have like consistency, we have like discomfort. So basically, in business, consistency is very important. There you see the huge difference between an employee and an entrepreneur, because the employee is like, not all of them of course, but a lot of them are like, okay, it's whatever, 5 p.m. I go home, it's not my problem anymore, especially in huge companies, yeah. And the entrepreneur is like, well, it needs to get done, and it's like, it's whatever, it's like it's my success depends on it, my financial stability depends on it, maybe even the how to say the not the fact, it may even depend on him working longer even at home or stuff like that, if he will be able to pay the payroll so people get their salaries, yeah. And so those are two very important things, like discomfort and consistency, which for example means, if I would only like with Twitch, I used to start a Twitch channel, but then I was too busy to be online a couple of days per week. So I went up, I don't know, like maybe to 20 viewers, or let it be 10, it doesn't really matter. So it's not that much, but still it's like some sign of growth. And if I would have consistently put in the effort to go online like around the same time or with a certain schedule, so people know, okay, I will be online, the channel would have grown further. But I had other priorities, so I only streamed occasionally. At the moment, I'm only streaming every Friday, and I know it's not gonna like help my channel to grow unless there is people coming in from other sources that I maintain more, like the YouTube channel, my social media profiles, Facebook groups, and so on. But other than that, like the channel is not gonna grow. I just don't want to give it up, and it's kind of like a hobby of mine. Yeah. So, but it would require consistency to grow. And then when you look at Twitch streamers, YouTube channels, Instagram profiles, and stuff like that with hundreds of thousands or millions of followers, it's not an overnight success. At some point, some guy simply decided, okay, I'm gonna make a YouTube channel and I'm gonna, I don't know, make videos about this and that. And the moment he decided that and put in the effort, the consistency, how do you think? Like he uploaded his first video and there was like 10,000 views and 1,000 fans, and I want a baby from you, and please, I don't know, where's your merchandise? I bet it's not like that. I bet it's simply, unless like you're the son of some, I don't know, famous actor, and anyway are famous already. But for all those other people, it's like they simply, even though nobody watched the videos or they only had 5 or 6 views, like this vlog right now, it's a new vlog. The first episode has 20 views or something, but I keep going, and I'm partially doing that to grow my YouTube audience, surprise, surprise, or my Facebook audience or my podcast audience. But I'm also like doing that because I honestly think that I've learned a lot of things over the last 16, 17 years. So like the 32 years I'm on this planet, yeah, that some people don't know yet, and that are like valuable in order to like have a more fulfilled life. Yeah, so I want to share that. And another benefit is like it helps me like to like capture my thoughts a little, and kind of how to say, like to not recover, to summarize my day, to like go through what actually happened today. And it also it increases my accountability, because I could always like just be like, yeah, look at my Instagram profile and this and that, and I'm so awesome and I'm rocking it. Or I could honestly say when something doesn't work, like the issue with the ads. I'm not like, oh, when we started YouTube ads and everything works, not YouTube ads, Facebook ads, and we're making millions. I'm simply telling you, okay, we spent like maybe $100, $120, and we have like 0 results to show for it. And yeah, like just gonna have to learn for it and grow with that pain of losing that money, and with that pain of knowing that the way we thought it will work, it doesn't work. But we're still gonna do it, and it's just a matter of time, yeah, like, and a matter of practice and reading the right stuff and talking to the right people to master it. Yeah. So like in order to become successful, you need like consistency, you need to leave your comfort zone, and what was the other one? Consistency, comfort zone. That's pretty much it actually. Yeah, like if you do, I have an easy approach to that actually. So I have like on my phone, I have like 2 lists. So in the reminders app, I'm sure on Android there's something similar. I have a list that I call backlog, where like every time I'm like, oh, I need to do this, I add it to that list. Yeah, like because it may be that I'm not like close to my computer and not close to like the project management. It's just faster. Or I could even talk to Siri and tell her to add it to the backlog list. And then I have a today list, and like I really try, and I don't always manage to, yeah, like it's simply sometimes doesn't work that way. Usually it's my fault, yeah. But every day before I go to bed, or even during the day, I already like add 5 items from the backlog list on the today list, yeah. So the next day I get up, I don't have to go to my computer now, actually, what am I gonna do today, yeah, what's important, blah blah blah. I simply can look at my phone and I see, okay, there's those 5 things that I want to like get done today, and I try to start with the one that annoys me the most, so I don't have to, oh, I need to do that later. For example, if I have to make an unpleasant call, it's the first thing I do if it can be done, if the person is reachable at the time, so I don't have to like, oh, and after this I still have to make that unpleasant call, but it's just done. It's like out of the way, problem solved, and it's like it feels like a boulder is like, or a stone is like, you know, like released from, I don't know how to say that, like, yeah, like a boulder falls off my shoulders, like it's suddenly like I'm free now, I did that, so I can simply move forward with the rest of the list. And sometimes it may be minor tasks and I'm done with it already like within an hour or 2, then I simply revisit the backlog list and see what else I can do today. Sometimes there may be one task that really takes longer, and then like really it reaches a point where it's already like too late in the night, and I'm just like have to accept, if I want to like get some sleep, I'm not gonna get all the 5 things done. But the trick is, I do this basically 7 days a week. Obviously, unless I'm traveling and stuff, there's like I'm less productive. Um, but by doing that 7 days a week, and it could be anything on that list that like brings you, improves you, like gets you closer to what you want, like your maybe financial freedom, the house of your dream, or whatever. Um, so it could be like that you every day you read a chapter of like a good book, like Rich Dad Poor Dad, like a must-read book for every person on this planet. Um, if you haven't read it, get it now. Yeah. If you didn't read it, haven't read, I don't know. Yeah. And so it could be you do that. That's one of your tasks, that you read one chapter of the book or 20 pages, or you read 15 minutes or something like that. It's something that will make you more successful because it will help you like see the world in a different perspective. And so like it's not always about like I don't know, create a new website, sell 5 products and stuff like that. Yeah, simply 5 tasks that will move you further forward. And there's ways to be even more productive, of course, but that's like a simple way. So you start every day with kind of a purpose, like what to do today, and you don't spend your morning with trying to figure out what you should do today, like what could I do today to get closer to the car of my dreams. um, but you like already know, okay, today I'm gonna do this, and it also, because it's going to give you a feeling of success every day you manage to do all the 5. It's like, yeah, I really did it. And when you then remember like, oh yeah, that's the thing I need to do, it may then take years to get you to your goal. Yeah, because it's like really, it's not like optimized in a way to like reach one point faster. It simply ensures that you put in enough activities that will get you there. Yeah. And it kind of like, yeah, it feels great every day you manage to do those 5 things. It really feels great. Yeah. And the days you don't manage to, well, it's okay, then it just happens. And simply the next day maybe you manage to do more than 5 and it compensated. It really, yeah, that's pretty much like the secret behind it, like to keep going, like consistency. Do it like everything, repeat stuff that works. Yeah. And be productive consistently, not just like, okay, I'm gonna like, it's like in school. When I went to school, I basically in some subjects I only learned like for the exams, but it really was some effort. Then if I would have learned consistently, it would have been easier. I would have like had better grades, because it was not like I would have not been trying to chew this big chunk of information, but it would just like the last part that I'm missing to pass this exam or to have a better grade. And that's like, if you want, I don't know, like a sports car. If you try to, oh, I want it tomorrow, and it costs hundreds of thousands of dollars, it will probably not work unless you're already rich. um, but if you like break it down, okay, I don't know, like I need 200,000 on my account, so what can I do? Okay, I can, maybe you have a skill that you can work on the weekends and make some extra money that you put on an account, and then it just means during the week your 5 tasks may contain like finding new clients for that specific task that you can do and stuff like that. um, yeah. Or it's like you can sell stuff, or you can, I don't know, like start affiliate marketing, start promoting some services. But the point is like, you then will figure out like it's up to you. You can always lie to yourself, like most people do. You can always lie to yourself and tell yourself, yeah, I did enough and blah blah blah. Or like come up with makeup tasks, like, oh, I need to rearrange my desk and stuff like that, and then tell yourself, oh, I've been productive today. Or you can be honest to yourself and really like, you know best like which tasks will be like, bring you more money or bring you more clients, or help you, I don't know, build your passive income, or help you build your secondary income, so you may be able to leave your job and become your own boss and stuff like that. So it's really up to you. And it's like, yeah, so like we have consistency, we have leaving your own comfort zone if possible every day, do something that makes you uncomfortable every day. Like for me, it's recording videos. It's really something like, well, when I'm talking to people, it's like that, it's easy. But as soon as I turn on the camera, you may notice on the first episode of this vlog, it's like, man, I'm kind of nervous. I there's no reason to it, like no like real reason, because like I still have the same knowledge, even though if the camera is running or not. It's basically the same as if I'm talking to one of my friends and giving them some advice. Yeah. but for some reason it just feels like that. But by going out and saying like, well, I don't want to do it, I'm kind of nervous, yeah, but by still doing it, I overcome that and I become better. So I personally think if you watch video 3, then video 2, and now video 1, video 2, and now video 3, that from where I'm sitting, it looks like there's already some improvement visible. I may be wrong, then please point it out to me in the comments. But by doing it over and over and more, I'm like, I don't hope or I wish or maybe or something. I know for a fact that I will be getting better and more secure talking in front of a camera, talking in front of an audience, because it's going to be the same feeling, and which will again help me in my business, like when I'm consulting people, like getting new clients, or even maybe someday, I don't know, giving a speech somewhere, and then like based on that use it like to prove my credibility or prove my skill or whatever. But like nothing happens like that. It's like Rome wasn't built in a day. Yeah, no successful. There's no such thing as an overnight success. Yeah, it's always like this. Okay, I'm gonna start doing this. I'm gonna keep doing that, and also important, there's gonna be failure on the way. The only difference is again if you're like Thomas Edison, who simply tries 10,000 times till it works because he knew it had to work. He just didn't know how, so he kept trying. Or if you're like most people, well, I tried, but I failed, it doesn't work, and give up. Yeah. It doesn't mean that you should do the same things over and over again, because like Albert Einstein said, if you do the same thing over and over again and just expect different results, it's the definition of insanity. So like it means like that you then look why it didn't work, try to adjust it, and maybe try it in a little different way, or try something totally different. The point is keep going, and you can only keep going if you have a clear goal. You need to know where you're going. And that's like also some I think I mentioned it yesterday, but I'm not sure. It may be also unpopular with some people, but saying like I want to be rich, yeah, is not a goal. I want to have a house someday is not a goal. That's like wishful thinking, and you're set up to fail and make excuses. Because while, for example, when I make that internship at that carpenter, and I earned, I think it was €100 a week, maybe it was 200, I don't remember. Yeah. But the point is, like, it felt like a lot of money. It really felt like a lot of money. And I'm sure for each of you, once you're from school and you earn your first money, and it was little money if you think about it, but it felt like, oh, now I have a lot of money. Until you realize, oh, I cannot buy this, I cannot buy that, I cannot buy this. Then you get your raise and this and that, and suddenly you earn, I don't know, like €1,000, €2,000, maybe more, maybe less, but it always feels like a lot of money for a certain amount of time. And the same is with being rich. Like, I know most people think if you would have an income of like €10,000 per month, so like $10,000 to $12,000 per month, you'd be rich, but you would be far away from rich, because what's your definition of rich? It probably includes like a Ferrari and a nice house, and maybe even a summer home, and maybe even a boat. But if you like buy a nice Ferrari, if I'm not mistaken, only the set of tires for the LaFerrari, I mean it's an extreme example, but only the set of tires like $25,000. So 2 months of, if you like drive with that car, you're gonna use some tires. So you're gonna like work 2 months of a year, over 2 months of a year, 2.5 months, just to pay for the set of tires you need every year. So you see, you're far away from rich. With 10,000 per month, you may be able to lease a nice car, yeah, and have a nice house, yeah, or even finance a nice house. But you're far away from like the average definition of rich, like the rich you see when you turn on the TV. So that's why it's not a goal, because it's unspecific. Yeah? And the same is with someday I want to have a house. Like if it's someday, I'm sure you know a lot of people. I know a lot of people who are like when you're 20 or something. Yeah, one day I want to have a house or want to build a house. Then I meet them again when they're 30, and it's like they still don't have a house. Yeah, one day I will have a house. Yeah. And because it's not like timely limited, it's not planned, it's not accurate, it's not written down, they will never achieve it unless out of some luck or by taking a loan and then paying till they are, I don't know, 80. Yeah, I have no idea. But if it's so like to have a goal means it's like specified. It could be, for example, okay, I will have 1.428 million euro. Yeah, that would be a very specific value. And then saying like, and I will have it by a certain date. Now, if I would say I will have that amount of money in like 2 months, it like is not realistic at all. Yeah. If I would say I will have that money like in 100 years, it's not challenging at all, because then if I don't know, I would need to divide it, but probably like if I put a little aside with some interest and do it for 100 years, it probably is very easy to reach 1.428 million euro. If there still is a euro in 100 years, that's another topic. So like you need to like have your goals, and it doesn't have to be like money or a house or something, but it works best with things that you can pay for, because there's a real value that you can work towards. Yeah. And so like doing that, defining it, you should define it in a way that it is challenging, that it's not too easy but also not impossible. And I said nothing is impossible. Yeah, it would also be possible to make €1 million in a month, but there is like skill is probably not really involved, but luck then plays a huge role. Like you could, I don't know, play the stock market, go gambling, put everything on, I don't know, number 17 on roulette or something, multiple times, and just bet that it will happen, or win the lottery, stuff like that. So there's not like really, it should be realistic. So making 1.4 million in a year is for sure more realistic. Yeah, it's like for me, it's also hard to grasp. It's not that I'm saying that it's like, yeah, it's gonna be like this. I'm not 100% convinced that it's possible within a year, but I also know it's not impossible, because I know enough success stories, not thousands, but like more than 10 who were capable of making millions in less than a year. So if they could do it, I can do as well, probably, or everybody can do as well. It's just like you need to like make the same sacrifices, like, and have a plan, and like maybe have some skills, and if you don't have the skills yet, spend some time on acquiring the skills, or if you don't want to acquire the skills, find people who have the skills and find a way to get the money to pay the people to do that stuff for you, blah blah. Anyway, yeah, so I actually thought it's going to be a shorter episode, but somehow it's already again half an hour. I'm gonna launch my Twitch stream now, because it's Friday night, so it's Twitch time, already a little late, and upload this episodes. I hope you enjoyed. Like leave your comments below if that's possible at wherever you're listening or watching that. Looking forward to it. Like I really would like hear your thoughts on like, have you ever thought about that every kind of growth involves some kind of pain and discomfort? Or maybe you disagree with me, then please like don't say I disagree, but say I disagree because, and then simply please prove it with some facts, because I love to have like some like not just feelings and I think or stuff like that, but something I can use to evaluate the opinion. And it may be very likely that I'm wrong with some of the stuff I'm saying, or not very likely, but it's possible. And then I obviously appreciate if somebody helps me with figuring out my mistakes. That said, I wish all of you a pleasant, I don't know, morning, lunch, evening, depending on when you're listening to that. And I hope you tune in to the next episode. So have a great time. Bye bye.